4 intermittent fasting tricks to burn fat faster. Did you know that intermittent fasting has been in practice from ancient times? It has worked for people across the globe and across the timeline of our existence. Today's video is all about benefiting from this miraculous weight loss technique. Intermittent fasting has gained a lot of hype in recent years, with the trend appearing all over social media fitness blogs. What is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting is a dieting technique that only allows you to eat during a specific window of time. This window can vary depending on the type of fasting you choose to follow, with some diets stating that you should fast for certain days in a week, while others specify certain hours during each day that you should fast. In most intermittent fasting plans, zero-calorie beverages are allowed during the fasting period, such as black tea, a coffee, and of course water. What makes intermittent fasting so popular is that it isn't technically a diet at all. It can be more accurately described as an eating pattern. For many, intermittent fasting does not involve changing what foods you eat or necessarily the amount of food, but rather how often you're able to eat. How does it work? Lots of proponents of intermittent fasting base their beliefs on the idea that humans have evolved to go for long periods without eating, with early humans sometimes having to go for days without food. Before humans learned how to farm, food was either hunted or gathered. This meant that early humans may have gone for long periods between meals. This is the model that many modern fasting diets now follow, with the theory being that humans are physiologically designed to have long gaps between meals, contrary to the popular 3 meals a day that most modern humans live by. The physiology behind fasting is relatively simple. After several hours without food, the body uses up all its sugar supply and instead begins to burn fat. This process is sometimes referred to as metabolic switching. When people consume 3 meals a day, plus a snack in between meals with little exercise, they provide their body with a constant supply of glucose, meaning that their body rarely reverts to the fat-burning stage. There are a number of different types of fasting, but perhaps the most common of these is time-restricted feeding. With this format, a person chooses several hours during the day in which they can eat. Some people choose to eat for 8 hours per day, while more experienced fasters may only eat during a 2-hour window. Another method of fasting is called alternate day fasting. With this, a person will have what is often referred to as feast and fast days. On fast days, a person may either not eat at all or only eat the minimum amount required by their body. On feast days, people often eat as much as they like, with no restriction on neither type of food nor amount. When you fast, several things happen to your body. To make fat stores more easily available as an energy source, hormonal changes occur to facilitate this. One of the main changes is the change in HGH, human growth hormone. Studies have shown that this hormone sharply rises during fasting periods, which not only facilitates fat loss, but muscle gain also. As well as this, when the body enters a fasting state, your cells initiate processes of cellular repair. One of these processes is called autophagy, which is a time during which cells remove or digest old, unused proteins that may build up inside cells. Studies have shown that intermittent fasting, when carried out consistently for at least 24 weeks, can reduce stubborn belly fat by up to 4 through 7%. Although doing basic intermittent fasting will still help to manage your weight, here are 5 methods you can try adding into your intermittent fasting plan to try to maximize the amount of fat you're able to burn daily. Break your fast with low sugar foods. When you break your fast and enter into your feeding window, it is important that you avoid foods that will cause your blood sugar to spike, which will in turn lead to an insulin spike. Insulin is the energy-stored hormone. It works to store the glucose you consume so that it is available as energy between meals. One of the main benefits of intermittent fasting is that it may lower your insulin levels, which will then mean there will be less storage of glucose for energy. This means that the body is then forced to use its fat stores for energy, creating a fat-burning process rather than one that uses your stored glycogen. When you eat after a period of fasting, your insulin naturally rises in response to the food you consume and the need for it to be stored as energy. To limit the insulin spike and the fat storage, try to consume low-sugar foods to keep your insulin levels low. Processed foods, sugary snacks, and simple carbohydrates are some of the food groups that will cause the highest insulin spike, so these are best avoided when first breaking your fast. These foods are also low in nutrients, meaning that they won't provide your body with the essential vitamins and minerals it needs. The best foods to eat when first entering your feeding window are simple, single-ingredient, wholesome foods. This means that it is often best to break your fast with a large serving of vegetables before you consume your proteins, fats, and dairy. Keto fasting. Keto fasting is a combination of the ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting. Although this will make your diet a little less flexible, it may increase the amount of fat you're able to burn from fasting alone. The keto diet is focused on consuming high amounts of fat while eating very few carbs. To follow the keto diet, your diets must consist of roughly 75% fats, 20% protein, and 5% carbs. By eating like this, the fat stores in your body may become more accessible for use as energy, as there are fewer carbs consumed to become stored as the first-line energy source, glycogen. This will mean that your body is more easily able to enter the fat-burning phase, as it won't first have to use up the liver's glycogen supply. Increase the length of your fast. The longer you remain in your fasting state, the longer your body is forced to use its fat supplies as energy. By remaining in this state for longer, the body will burn through more fat as the glucose supply becomes more limited. It is important that you only begin with a small fasting window before attempting longer fasts of 24 to 48 hours. Try to work your way up slowly to see how your body responds to this diet before attempting longer fasts. Longer fasts also create a larger calorie deficit for the week, which may lower your insulin levels and allow for maximum fat burning. Fasted workouts. Although much more research is needed, some studies have suggested that by exercising in a fasted state, you can burn more fat than by exercising in a fed state. Some research has suggested that during a fasting window, your glycogen stores get used up. When exercising in a fasted state, the body requires more energy, so when there is no more glycogen to use, the body is required to use more fat as fuel. Other studies, however, have suggested that people who exercise when fasting lose no more weight than those who ate before working out, proving that much more research is needed to determine which method is best. Work out in a way that is maximized for fat burning. Although any kind of workout will benefit both your physical and mental health, some types of exercises are more suited to fat burning than others. Some of the best fat-burning exercises are HIIT, resistance training, and moderate-intensity cardio. These types of exercises use up your glycogen stores faster, meaning that there is more opportunity for fat burning in your workouts. Intermittent fasting is a type of eating schedule that permits you to eat in certain windows and fast for the periods in between these windows. It has been shown to have various health benefits. However, the most popular of these is its fat-burning capability. By consistently practicing intermittent fasting, you are guaranteed to lose weight. However, there are several other things you can add to your routine to increase the body's fat-burning capability. Try out some or all of the tips mentioned above to figure out what works best for you. Finding the right combination of methods can help you maximize your fat burning and make sure that you get the most benefit possible from your intermittent fasting.